Hey guys, I am making this video for like a recording of my experience as I go into the military. I am going into the army, hopefully. That's what I'm shooting for, but I'm also open, I'm not completely shutting down Marines or Air Force. I've had many people tell me that Air Force is a smarter way to go. I've also had people tell me Marines is a smarter way to go. So at this point, I really would like to do the Army, and I've researched it, and I've done everything I needed to do, except for talk to a recruiter. I'm kind of just in that thinking about it stage. I'm to the point where I've taken the ASVAB. I've actually talked to a National Guard recruiter, but that's a different story. I'll get into that later. Basically, what I'm doing right now is kind of a pre-recruiter talk. I have had nobody really to give me answers directly, which is a problem. I've had to kind of research them on my own, so I'm hopefully helping somebody out later in their military experience or thinking about the military. It's really hard to find people, women actually, that can give me like straight out answers, but the videos I've watched are great. They've really helped, and everything, and even the guys' videos have really helped. I know the men's experience is going to be different than the woman's experience, but they've still helped. They're basically the same, you know? So I've had some key points written down that I'm going to touch base on, and I will try and make it as quick as possible. So, the first one is, how long have I been interested? I have been interested in the Army for actually quite some time, and I didn't even realize it. Back in the beginning of middle school, I watched this movie called The Hurt Locker, and I'm sure you probably heard of it, but at that point, I didn't really know anything about the military except for what I saw in the movies. So I had known a couple of people in the military who were active at the time, not retired or anything, who had actually been deployed, but I was quite young when knowing them, so it's not like I knew exactly what was going on. I just knew that they were in a different country with guns and whatnot. Anyway, to get back on topic, I have been interested since then. I actually turned to my dad while watching that movie, and I was like, Dad, I want to go into the Army. He was like, no, Marines are smarter, and I was like, okay. So after that, I actually mentioned going to the Marines or Army twice, but I wanted to be a cosmetologist, which is a hairstylist, and that's what I wanted to do more than the military at that point. So that's what I was going to do. I also didn't realize it was like the reserves where you could do twice a week and once a month. I didn't even know that was a thing at the time. I also didn't know that women could go into the Army. I thought it was just a male thing because you never did see at that point women in movies with the Army or any branch of the military, as a matter of fact. So I didn't think women could even do it. So up till about a year, I obviously, as I got older, realized that women could go into the Army. But about 6 months ago, I had a boyfriend, and we are currently broken up. So, yeah. Anyway, he was, when we first started dating, he was about 2 months away from going to basic training. So when we got together, I got to learn like a whole lot of stuff. At that point, I knew probably more than most civilians because I had that like connection with the military. Anyway, when he went to basic training, I actually went to a futures fair, college futures fair. Right now I'm 16, I will be turning 17 in a couple months, and I will graduate in 2016. Anyway, back on topic, I went to this futures fair where there was like Navy reserves and Air Force reserves and National Guard. I had a friend at the time who wanted to go into the reserves or guard. So, she was going to the booth and filling out the recruiter's little slip of paper to get in contact. When we went to the National Guard, I was actually tagging along. So when we went to the National Guard booth, the guy kind of like sucked me in, and he was like, "You ever been interested in the military?" And I was like, "Yeah, actually, when I was a kid." So I kind of told him the same exact story I just told you. So he was like, "Well, you can do both cosmetology and the National Guard at the same time." And I was like, "What?" I didn't really even know what National Guard was at the time, but he started to explain to me that it'd only be, the once a month and 2 weeks out of the year. So, and he said also that they would pay for my education past high school, and that they would actually give me bonuses for being in school. So they really sucked me into that one, and I was so excited. I got information, I got the little brochures, everything I could get. I went home and I wrote a letter to my boyfriend, who was in basic training at the time, asking him if this is something I should do. He had the military experience a little bit, and he knew my characters, so he knew if I could do it or not. Not saying that you have to have the right character, it's just he knows me and he knows what military is like, so he could determine whether he thought I would like it or not. So I actually got a call from him about 3 weeks later, and he was all for it. He was like, "Yeah, this is cool, you should do it, and I know you can." And so that was exciting. So I really started getting interested in it, but my decision was based on whether he wanted me to or not, because I would be gone, like, I know it'd only be 2 weeks a year, but I'd be gone for that 3 months of basic training. And what if if something did happen and I did have to be gone longer? So I thought about it, and so I was thinking what's best for our relationship, because I didn't want to be gone while he was here, because I barely got to see him anyway. And then he'd eventually be deployed, and he'd be in his unit and everything. So yeah, up till then I was still thinking about it. Well, about a month ago we broke up, so at that point I was like, okay, now that we're broken up, I'm not thinking for the both of us, I'm thinking just for me. So I was like, I'm definitely doing National Guard. And then I started to think, well, maybe I should do the Army, because that sounds really awesome. And at that time I was starting to think maybe my characteristics didn't really match hairstyle-wise. I don't get along very well with women, especially like dramatic women, the ones who like drama and everything. I don't get along with women like that. So that's kind of a problem. I also do not communicate very well with women in general, so that's also a problem. I get along better with men. Not saying that I'm some kind of like bad person because I get along better than with men, or some people may think of me as this not very ladylike because I rather hang out with a guy than a girl, but it's not like that. I just get along better with them because they're not so judgmental, you know what I mean? Anyway, to get back on topic, I was like, okay, maybe I should do the Army, because this is something I've been interested in. Now I know women can do it. I don't want to do a hairstyling anymore, and this sounds just straight up awesome. So I started to think about it really seriously, and then I started to talk to my family about it and research and everything, and my family's reaction was as I expected. They didn't really want me to go, but if it made me happy, then it was okay. They will support me, so that was good. So right now, a month later, I've done a lot of research. I've went on the Go Army website at least 100 times. I went on it like at least once a day, if not more, and I would read like every article I could. I wanted to get all the information I could, and so I knew exactly what I was getting into, because I'm one of the people who need to know, like just know what they're about to, need to expect things, kind of. Anyway, let me look at what else I got. So right at this moment, I have not talked to a Army recruiter. I have talked to a National Guard recruiter. He called me not long after I filled out the paper at the National Guard booth. and we actually talked about what I wanted to go into. I wanted to do infantry. Now at this moment, the infantry is closed. The infantry MOS is closed to women, but in 2016 they were going to no, from 2013 to 2016 they had time to reassess if women would be open to combat MOSs. So I was pretty excited when my recruiter, the National Guard recruiter, told me that. Now, if you think about it, I graduate 2016 and they have to make a decision in 2016. So by the time I'm actually, would be going to basic, who knows if they will, one, have made the decision to let women infantry, and two, even have, a program set up already. That's quite early, and, the government isn't exactly fast to get things done. So, basically, I'm not sure. I'm thinking about a backup MOS, and I need to make sure I'm even qualified. So at this point, I haven't talked to a recruiter, but I'm definitely getting on to finding a recruiter. I have numbers and everything. I just need to find the time. Also, I need to be able to meet with them face to face, which is a problem because I cannot drive yet, and I would rather drive myself than have somebody drive me. So at this point, I'm going to try and wait until I turn 17, and then I will go and meet face to face with the recruiter so we can talk about infantry and other possible MOSs for myself. I would like to do something in combat if I cannot do infantry. Obviously, infantry is in combat, but something open to women, and I know there is combat positions open for women. So at this point, I haven't met with the recruiter, and I'm going to do that and everything. So I will keep updated on if and when I will meet the recruiter, and if I decide to actually go into the army, which I am seriously considering. I've taken the ASVAB, and I'm definitely going to take it again, because the first time I took the ASVAB, I was not pleased with my score at all, and I knew I could do better. It all just depends on the day. That day I was not feeling well. That day I had a lot on my mind. Plus, I wasn't really taking it all that seriously, because I wasn't thinking about seriously doing the military at that time. So, I'm going to study a lot and retake the ASVAB so I can make my score higher. So, at this point, I need to study and get a recruiter who I'm comfortable with, and I may have not met a recruiter yet, but I have some advice for you. Do not let your recruiter tell you to lie, because that is one of the stupidest things. I've had people tell me that their recruiter told them to lie. I was like, wow, that is ridiculous. Never lie. Basically, that's all I have to tell you now. I will definitely keep more videos up, and if you have any comments, that would be great. Anything to help me prepare me for basic training. I have watched so many basic training videos, it's not even funny. I've read so much. So if it's stuff you would expect somebody else to already say, then I've already probably heard it. So if it's something unique, that definitely would be a plus. I definitely want to know that. So go ahead and just let me know. I think that's it. I can't think of anything else. So if you could just let me know, anything you know, if you're a veteran, or if you know anything, just try and give me some answers, because I'm definitely open to advice and anything. Or if you think there's a good MOS, or if you think your MOS is good, then you go ahead and let me know, because I am open to any information at this point. Like I said, I was on the Go Army website at least 100 times trying to figure out information, and I've had so many booklets, it's not even funny. So I'm really excited for this, and I'm hoping that I can meet with a recruiter as soon as possible so we can get this show on the road. Thanks for watching.